Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But every eye is different, which means everyone's perception of beauty is different. In my own perception, from my eyes, one of the most beautiful things this world has to offer is, I guess you could say, itself, and just a fancy way of saying nature, just nature in general. Because I'm from Texas, so there's not a lot of green out here. There's a lot of browns and a lot of that stuff. But whenever I went to France, there was actually about 10-15 minutes away from my house, and then just the entire country in general. There's so much green, but 15 minutes from my house was this, which was like a botanical garden, and it just blew my mind to see all of this that I've seen pictures of, I've seen videos of before, but to actually get to see all of this green and all of this just pure nature in person was honestly incredible. Because like I said, I've never really gotten to see something like this up close and personal before, and to finally be able to do that was really cool. Because it's like I want to go hiking sometime. I've never really gone like mountain hiking, but I really want to. Like, I want to climb a mountain someday. Not like Mount Everest or whatever, but maybe like Mount McKinley or like Kilimanjaro, something like that. Just to say that I've done it, because the world itself is just so massive. For one, like, just the grand scale of everything that is in this world, nature-wise, is just incredible for me to understand. But especially whenever it comes to like just the greenery and this, like like Mount Kilimanjaro, like the size of the mountain. Whereas I don't get to experience that on a daily basis here in Lubbock or even Wichita Falls. So Wichita Falls has the Wichita Mountains, but they're like an hour and a half away, technically in Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure. But and I mean, they're cool. I haven't gone hiking there. I probably should, but it just doesn't compare, is what I'm trying to say. So getting to go to France and getting to see all this green and all this plant life that I've never seen before, and it was just really cool to see. Because I don't know, I guess you could say that it applies to most things, because like I said in the beginning of this video, beauty is very much subjective. Beauty is a subjective topic, and it depends on each person, each set of eyes that sees the world for however they do. And we all perceive beauty differently. Like, just because I think all of this is just absolutely gorgeous and incredible to see, some other person may be like, that's not really my thing. I don't really care about that. And that's perfectly reasonable, because, you know, in any situation you're going to have differing opinions on any. I've been trying to think about that, like trying to think of what is one thing that the entire world can agree on, and obviously there's nothing. There will never be a single topic that every single person will ever be able to agree on. I mean, there will be some that people, like most people, lean towards one side than the other side, blah, 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 blah. But especially whenever it comes to beauty and what someone finds to be beautiful, it truly is different for every person. Now, obviously, there are going to be people that find nature beautiful as well as I did, but they'll find it different. They'll find it beautiful for different reasons and different concepts and such. Like, for me, nature is just beautiful to look at. I just think it's amazing to look at. It just looks beautiful to me. But some people maybe they may think more in depth to it. They may think more of maybe science is the best word. Like, they may see it and think, wow, it's so beautiful to think about the process of how this plant was created and how it was planted naturally and how it grew and all this stuff. Whereas I personally am just there to look, you know. And I kind of do the same thing with museums. I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video, because I've got some cool museum footage. But I'm just a looker, I guess you could say. I just going to this chateau here, going out to the botanical gardens, going to the museums that you'll see later. I just like to go look and just really see, just look at it and just admire the beauty. Unless something truly catches my eye, then I mean, I'm interested in the process of whatever it was and how it went, but it's not something that really draws my interest, I guess you could say. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to find the method of how this was planted or how it was painted. I just like to look at it. And some people may hear that and be like, well, that's not true beauty admiration, but it's my beauty admiration. It's the way I admire beauty through my own eyes, and each person is going to do that differently. Each person is going to admire things differently. Each person is going to perceive beauty in different manners, and that's just how we are as people. And I think that that comes from maybe the way we're raised, maybe the way we experience our lives. I don't know if beauty admiration is something that's just instilled in us naturally. I think it's something that very much changes along with the lives we live and such. Because I've never, maybe someone that grew up in Europe and has seen this stuff, seen this nature, seen all this beautiful architecture on a regular basis, it's just normal to them. It's just like, yeah, I see that every day. Whereas I myself, coming from Texas, where there's coming from the United States, where we didn't have a true Renaissance like Europe did, and then going to Europe, and this right here, this is literally the backyard of Leonardo da Vinci's house. In this city right here, Tours, the place where I stayed for a month, it's gorgeous, and it's architecture, and its structures, and its people, and it's nature that I don't see regularly, if at all. So therefore, I think that that is an experience, or lack thereof, that changes my perception of beauty. Someone that sees that on a daily basis may not think it's all that beautiful, but I myself, going there for the first time and getting to see all of this stuff for the first time, finds it much more beautiful because, like I said, it's my first time. I've never gotten to see this before. And I think this is a good example right here. These are the water lily paintings by Monet. I believe it's Monet. But he had this little pond in his backyard, and well, I guess it's a pretty big pond. But he painted this series of paintings of he'd just go out and sit and look at the water lilies and just paint them, and they're these huge flats, not flats, they're curved, but you know, things you paint on. I can't think of the word right now, but and the building actually was designed specifically for those paintings, and the walls are curved and the paintings are curved, and it's the museums and everything that I got to see was just it truly just blew my mind, just walking in awe. Earlier, whenever there was that clip with the Eiffel Tower in the background of the basilisk, I literally stepped out and I looked and I saw that and I was like, and it finally hit me. It finally hit me like, wow, I'm actually in Europe now. Like, I got into a groove while I was in tour of just, it became just like a daily life, to where, like, I guess I kind of became numb to the fact that I was in Europe for a month. And then I finally, like, got there, saw the Eiffel Tower, and I was like, oh, I'm actually here. And I think one thing these museums brought to my attention was just, like, I've always been interested in paintings and in art, but like I said, I'm not really, it's not particularly interesting to me to, like, find out how it all happened and blah blah, but just the detail in these paintings is absolutely incredible. I mean, look at this. He did this with a brush, and it is amazing to see just the detail he's able to put into this, and I can't even fathom how long this took, how much effort it took. There's a clip with audio coming up. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to shut up for a second while it plays. Ah, yes. Also, the beauty of the subway bands. But, like, see right there, the Notre Dame, like, we have nothing especially in Texas. We have some stuff in the United States, like, you got not the Eiffel Tower, you've got, like, Statue of Liberty, Golden Gate Bridge, stuff like that. But just what I see on a regular basis can never compare to what I saw in France. And it's incredible to just be able to admire that and to see that, like I was talking about those paintings. I was talking about the paintings before. Actually, pause on the paintings. This monument, the statue, why do I keep saying the Statue of Liberty? The Eiffel Tower is incredible. Being next to it, going up to the top, it's just astounding to realize just how massive this thing is, and be able to look out over the city at night and just the beauty that's there. But I have to say, this is as magnificent and as beautiful as this monument is. It sucks. I hated it. I waited 4 hours in line to get up to the top for 5 minutes of pictures and video. Oh my goodness, it was so frustrating. I hate that monument. Forever ruined for me. This one's really cool though. Notre Dame, we didn't actually get to go inside of this one. But Notre Dame is kind of like how I was talking about earlier, like the architecture. America didn't go through the Gothics, the Renaissance and everything. It did. And then the Louvre. This is probably the most, like, even compared to the Eiffel Tower, I would say this is the biggest building I have ever seen in my life. And it was a castle at one point. This was the first castle that the first king of France lived in. Look at how this thing is just amazing. I heard a stat, I believe, that if you were to spend 3 minutes at each exhibit in the Louvre, you would finish in about 30 years. Think about that. This place is just awe-inspiring. I have never seen anything in my entire life as incredible as this was. Just as, like I said, astounding. And it's maybe someone that lives there that's been to stuff like this on a regular basis doesn't find it as incredible. But to someone that comes from a country, from a state, a city that doesn't have this anywhere, really, doesn't have a Gothic era, doesn't have a Renaissance era, doesn't have, there's another era, I can't remember it, but doesn't have stuff like this regularly that you can just go see, this was just incredible. These particular sets of paintings by Panini, I don't know if that one's by Panini, the one before was by Panini. Oh yeah, this is the Mona Lisa. This thing is like the size of like a poster board. I was just amazed at, one, the size of it, two, how is that painting so popular? We have all these incredible, massive paintings, and I believe there's one coming up here pretty soon, but like all these incredibly massive, beautiful paintings that I find to be incredible. Hold up, I gotta shut my door. Mom and Cooper just showed up. I'm recording a video. But see this one. Those are people standing next to that. It's that big, and people still like to suggest that the Mona Lisa is one of the greatest paintings of all time. Maybe it's not one of the greatest. Maybe it's just one of the most popular. But just the fact that, I guess that is truly a testament to what I opened this video with. This beauty is very much subjective to one's own opinion, their own experiences. I personally did not enjoy the Mona Lisa. I stood at the very back, zoomed in, took a picture, and this is another place where I had to stand in the back and take a picture because of this line right here. This is the Castle of Versailles, one of, if not the largest castles or chateaus in all of France, all of the world. And I didn't get to go inside. We stood in line for 2.5 hours and got barely halfway through, and we were like, we do not have time to stand in the rest of this line. So I wasted my day, wasted 27 euros, slept on the train ride home. And then we find out that we could have just walked into the gardens. We were actually in line for the castle. That was incredibly disappointing, to be perfectly honest with you. I get really upset about that every time I think about it, because I was really, really excited for that, and then I didn't get to go in. And then I found out that I could have gone in, but I didn't get to. And then we had kind of a nice summary, I guess. We took this boat tour around the city. That was really, really nice, getting to see some of the monuments again from a different view, getting to hear some stuff, falling asleep a little bit. I was tired. Here's another clip of the audio. I don't know what's.
I love that song.
I actually do know that song. I know it from a Fallout game, but I know that song. But it was really cool. They just had this little dancing center there. And then, I don't know, the entire trip was just incredible. I know that I feel like each time I have to apologize for just rambling on, even though literally the point of this video is for me to ramble on. But it was great. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And now I'm home. it's like, yeah, I'm glad to be home. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of miss it. But now it's more so just going back to, I guess, the mundane life of not living in France. It's very different. And but it is what it is. And we're here now, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see what the rest of this future holds. Will I make more of these? We will see. We will definitely see. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Y'all have a nice day.